Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn all we need to know about the recently announced new corporate tax in the UAE. 2 seconds and we jump into the information. Hello everyone, my name is Maria Rubert, lawyer and arbitrator with a base in the UAE, and I'm very happy today to go over the recently announced announcement that there is going to be direct taxation in the UAE. There is going to be corporate tax in the UAE starting in June 2023. But let's start with the basics. What's happening? The Ministry of Finance has announced that starting from June 2023, there will be corporate tax in the UAE. What is the objective of the upcoming law? We don't have a law as of today. We only have the announcement, and I'm going to give you the link. So for all of you who want to take a look to the formalities of the law and how it been announced and how much we know today, you will be able to check it out directly. You may also check out a recent publication that pretty much you will be able to read what I'm going to tell you right now. But for those of you who like to read, and I am one of those, I enjoy YouTube very much, but I still learn. And actually, here is my publication. And first, before I am able to sit with all of you here and share that information with you, I put it down and I write it, and then it's almost in my head. And hey, and I get help writing it, okay? So I only revise if I am lucky. Okay, so what are the objectives? The objective is to bring transparency. So when you file papers, this is how much I'm making, these are my clients, this is that. That makes you transparent, and Western countries, civilized countries, like this. So I think the UAE was under a little bit of pressure to fall for the direct taxation and corporate tax. But hey, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, because over the years I've been working in the UAE for 13 years. When I was sending some money to Spain to cover some expenses, my bank was a nightmare. What is this? This is coming from a tax haven. You have to send your contract. You need to send your contract of employment. You need to send the documents of your company, etc. It's a nightmare. It's gonna be good for all of us, right? And then on the other hand, think a little bit about the recent developments. The UAE was a country that was self-dependent on their oil and gas. What's happening to these prices? Well, we've been seeing like this over the few years, and more often than not, prices have gone down. Look at everything we have here to maintain. Then they said, okay, we won't be able to live out of oil and gas for a long time, so let's diversify. So they create an emirate, Dubai, really made for tourists, and two airlines, Etihad and Emirates Airlines, to diversify, and then COVID comes. So I think this brought a little bit of reality, and this tax follows a little bit of traditional way of funding a country, which is not going to be bad for all of us. So very good. We've talked about what the basics, tax coming. We've talked about what objectives. Now we are going to talk about the where and when. We already announced that it's going to be from financial years starting June 2023, and where? Everywhere in the UAE. But when we say everywhere in the UAE, we say that it will be federal law. We don't have a law yet, and it will apply to all companies. But hey, many of you have already reached out. Maria, I have a free zone. Maria, I have a group of companies. What's going to happen with me? Free zones, breathe. You should be fine. You should be fine. You should be exempted if you fulfill the requirements by the free zones. Some of those requirements are: you are not able to do work within Dubai, and also another requirement is you need to have an office. So you will need to have some substance, I could assume, and of course I think they will put greater protection to the work that is done in the UAE. So you could expect that if you do work in the UAE, you could expect to pay tax, but I don't know. I think it's better that we wait. I will be more than happy to make a new video with the law in front of us and go over it. So the what, where and when, and how much is it going to hurt? Not much, don't worry. There will be 9% on business profits, and business profits starting from 375,000 dirhams. How much is that? 102,000 US dollars. Okay. So what's going to happen? Let's say you open a company and you make 400,000. You invoice 400,000 a year. So you will have to pay corporate tax on the difference. From 400,000, you deduct 375,000. Then you will need to pay taxes on the difference. 400,000, you deduct 375,000, which is exempted. So you will need to pay corporate tax on the 25,000. And hey, it's business profits, so you will probably have expenses. You will pay employees, an office, travel expenses, all the expenses that you have, right? So it's not that bad. We were actually checking when the announcement came, and I think we found out that the average corporate tax worldwide is 23%. So between 23% and 9%, hey, I mean, also keep in mind that those countries that have an average of 23 or have 23% or even more, because this is the average, also have income tax, personal income tax, and withholdings and added value, withholding, etc. So here so far will only be 9%, and with great flexibility with the deductions, etc. So no major announcement yet. Let's wait for the law, but it should be more flexible than in other countries. So we have, let me take a look to my little cheaty thing here. We talked about what objectives, where and when, how much, how it's going to be calculated, and the who. The who I left for the end, but already told you, because I told you about what happens, which companies are going to pay, what's happened with the free zones, and then I will complete information that I didn't close, which is what's going to happen with my group of companies. I have a number of companies worldwide. I have several companies here in the UAE. How am I going to pay tax? You could file it singly, right? Taxes that you will pay abroad, you will be able to deduct. This will make more sense when we have the law. What I can already advance is that there will be a different rate for big multinationals. This we don't know, but big multinationals, you will be lucky if you fall there, because our companies that I think it's 750 million globally. So yeah, well, not that the money comes with the profits, the invoice comes with the profits, but you will be very, very, very large, and I will be very, very honored that someone with companies in that rate is watching my video. Okay, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. You learned a little bit. If you did so, please like it. Also subscribe so you get information as soon as it is out, and also you can follow me on social media, because I also announce what I'm going to plug in my YouTube. It's been a pleasure. You can also text me directly, because questions that you have in your mind right now, I'm sure will help many of others. So shoot me questions. Many of the questions end up in a video, and I take some time to prepare them. So take advantage of that. A pleasure. I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye-bye.